Alright, welcome back everybody. It's been a few weeks since I did any videos. Had some real world stuff go down between holidays and some things happening at work. I just haven't been able to do anything. I mean, I've piddled here and there, but trying to get back to it and get going. I spent most of the afternoon getting the elevator rudder leads ran with some ceramic blanket and aluminum tape through up from the tail, so I could tie them into the S-bus leads that run down the side on each side of the fuselage. I had to cut two holes. One on each side, like the tail and then the nose portion where the two meet. There's a wall there, basically a lip. I just cut a hole on both sides, on both the tail portion and the nose. That way I could run the servo wires through the kind of like a bulkhead. So, got my eyelash. Sorry about that. But those are all ran and in place. I've hooked up, tested the elevator servos and everything, so everything looks good. Let's see if I can show you guys that. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see them, but essentially the Roby little terminals that you clip onto the leads are right here. Two here and one here. They have blue lights on them, so you can see the lights when it's turned on. Kind of neat, but you can kind of see in there. I used the aluminum tape, but underneath the tape there is some ceramic blanket, so you got kind of like a double layer of protection and everything, all the way back to where they essentially go through the bulkheads, and so hopefully that stuff will stick. I made sure I cleaned it really well, got all the mold release stuff out of there, and it seems to be sticking pretty good. Put the two halves together. I still got to put the nuts. They don't show putting a nut on the back of the bolt slash screw, so essentially be a bolt, but it comes with them, so I'm going to put, once I make sure they're nice and tight, which they pretty much are, I'm going to go and put the nuts on the back side just to keep the the screws from coming loose, just in case, just as an extra security. Also, having to leave the camera plugged in for power. Something that you can't see that I did. The instructions show, you got your wing tube coming out here. You mark top, drill, thread it with a 3mm screw. Do the same thing on the bottom, so you have two screws at the end of the rod or the tube holding the stabs on. I did not do that. I simply the alignment pin is somewhere right in here. Just forward of that, there's a space on both sides, the fuselage and the stab, that have real thick ply. So I essentially drilled a hole, ran a long screw on both. So that's what's keeping my stabs on. Not easy to remove because you got to remove the pipe, but I could do it if I needed to. Like to get those off, say I need to take need room for transportation, because it does have a wide tail section. Take the turbine out, take the pipe loose, slide it out, and then I can get to those. So essentially I don't have to take the tail apart to get to that. So that's what I've done so far. Also, you can't see it, but the wire that runs into this the forward pin of the rudder, I just put a little block, kind of like an L-shaped block, so when it comes forward, it's locked into place, and then to unlock it you push it back, rotate it down, and then it pulls out. But it's just kind of like a retainer to keep it from coming out, just in case, coming loose. But everything's in. The only thing I still haven't done, just because I'm waiting on a servo, is I got to put the servo for the nose gear or nose door. I'm using a Mighty Mini servo. It'll go somewhere here, and just to open and close that, just like I did on the Avani. Tanks are in. The gear's in, and are all the valves. Everything's in. Wiring is still can't make it look pretty. It's the best I could do with what I had. Something to note also, I'd already thought of this, but if you put your gyro up top here, you need to beef this up. You know, maybe see how it flexes a little bit. So I guess the air is coming through, causing this to vibrate, which will make your gyro go a little. You know, you'll see it in flight. So laminating this with carbon is one thing. That's what I was going to do, but I think I'm just going to take a carbon rod and run it straight across and glue it in. That way it's side to side, and it'll stiffen that up enough. Because if it's vibrating that bad in there, it's probably need to move the gyro altogether. But I think that'll be enough to keep it from vibrating. I guess it's just and it may not be a problem with me in this nose door, because the kit, you know, you don't put a nose door on it. That's something I did separate. But without a nose door, you have that air that's constantly coming through, which may be causing it to vibrate. But it may not do that with the door covering the nose gear bay. Had a hinge come loose here. I gotta glue that back in. So should have used Hysol in the first place instead of epoxy, regular epoxy. Lesson learned. But yeah. So also, while I got you here, I was gonna go ahead and fill up the fuel tank and make sure the fuel tank doesn't leak now, because I had to do those repairs to it. So I wanted to show you guys that. Alright. There you go. I love the clear UAT. So there you go. Nice to be able to see in there. Plus you'll be able to see if you're getting any air bubbles coming out of it. But that's about it. I was working on the telemetry for the radio. I did manage to get, I guess with the new Futaba update, you get a JetCat version 10 telemetry option, and I was trying to get this little guy to work. I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll see. People say it does. This CB Electronics telemetry box. It's kind of heavy. I hate adding weight for things like this, but you know, if I can get the telemetry and start piddling with telemetry finally, start learning that side of it. Futaba is horrible for telemetry. Hopefully they'll get off their butts and get caught up with the rest of the world, because it is coming, or it is here. You either got to get on board or get passed by. So, but definitely planning. I wasn't able to get anything, you know, started yet, just due to the, like I said, life things at work. So hopefully this week I can get it completely done, and then take it out next weekend, run it up, taxi it around, and then be ready for flights. Maybe I can get a maiden in during the Christmas holidays. I'm going to take some time off from work. I have to go do some traveling, go back to my old stomping grounds, check on a house, and I might just take it with me down there and fly at my old club or something, maiden it there. But I'll get videos of that for you guys. I know a lot of people are asking about it and everything. Like I said, it's just, you know, been a hard time around here and it works, so just hadn't really felt like doing much with the build. But I got to get this thing done and get it out of the way, because I'm actually going to pick up a friend's jet during Christmas from Atlanta to build for him, and then I'm going to be building another one shortly after that, so it'll be busy after the first of the year. But you guys have a good one, and take it easy.